Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Paschachade Satarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Continuing with the ecstatic Sri Brhad Bhagavatamrita, Part 2, Chapter 4. We're starting, I think, with text 236, 237. Yes. Nar just finished giving many nice teachings. Gopal Kumar has been hearing, and now he's going to comment on what he heard. Sri Gopal Kumar said, "These words of Narada greatly increased my anxious eagerness to see the lotus feet of Sri Gopal, my worshipable Lord. Quickly, a powerful storm-like urge also arose in me, a hope to achieve the kind of ecstasy that Narada had just described. Seeing me cast by this hope and eagerness into an ocean of sorrow, Narada consolingly spoke." Commentary. Pure devotees revere Narada Muni for preaching the glories of the Supreme Lord all over the universe. Godha Vaishnava Siddhanta Mani Manjushika Hatat Spurtam Udghatita Yena Tam Prapano Smi Naradam. I take shelter of Narada, who forced open the secret treasure chest in which the jewels of Vaishnava philosophical conclusions were kept. 238. Sri Narada said, "Although this topic is most confidential and should not be talked about here, by the weight of your anxiety, I'm being forced to speak openly." Commentary. The secrets Narada is about to divulge are generally not discussed, even in Vaikuntha. 239. Far from here lies Ayodhya, the splendid city of Raghupati, the divine master of the Raghu dynasty, and beyond that shines the city of Dwaraka, dear to the divine master of the Yadus. Dwaraka resembles the blessed and charming Mathura. Go to that Dwaraka and worship with your eyes your beloved Lord. Commentary. Above all the other Vaikuntha planets are the special abodes of Lord Ramachandra and Lord Krishna. Since Gopakumar is somewhat familiar with Mathura on earth, Narada describes Dwaraka as being similar. As affirmed by Vikadru, and here we go again, in Sri Hari Vangsha, Dwaraka is actually a Mathura sub-district, and the residents of Dwaraka are mostly Yadavas from Mathura city. So, when Gopakumar achieves Dwaraka above Vaikuntha, in effect, he will be attaining Mathura. Text 240. But first, hear from me about an excellent method for approaching Ayodhya, a method approved by those whose only taste is service at Lord Ramachandra's lotus feet. Commentary. Narada recommends that Gopakumar reach Dwarka by first going to Ayodhya. The devotees there worship Lord Ramachandra almost as intimately as Krishna devotees worship Krishna in Dwarka. So, in Ayodhya, Gopakumar will get good training in the higher practice of personal devotion. 241-42. Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, the source of all incarnations, and simply by worshiping Him, everything can be obtained. Yet, I shall give you teachings to help you achieve a special taste for the divine lotus feet of Lord Rama, the hero of the Raghus. Commentary. From experience, Gopakumar is fully convinced that anything he desires can easily obtain. Anything he desires he can easily obtain by taking shelter of the 10-syllable king of mantras meant for worship of Sri Madan Gopal. The suggestion that he approach the lotus feet of Sri Raghunath does not contradict this. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.28, Krishna is the source of all expansions of Godhead, including Lord Ramachandra, Ete Changsa Kalapungsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. All these incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord, but Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Paragraph. Devotees of Krishna see in Lord Rama many of the all-attractive features of their own deity. In Srimad Bhagavatam 9.11.19, Sri Shukadev Goswami mentions Lord Ramachandra's exceptionally beautiful lotus feet. Smaratam Hridi Vinyasya Vidham Dantaka Kantakai Swapada Palavam Rama Atma Yonir Agat Tataha. When Lord Ramachandra lived in Dandakaranya, his lotus feet were sometimes pierced by thorns. After completing the sacrifice, he placed those lotus feet in the hearts of those who always think of him. Then the self-born Lord entered his own abode. Paragraph. A unique rasa is to be tasted at those lotus feet, a special mood of ecstatic worship, and Narada wants to help Gopakumar achieve it. By devotional service to Sri Madan Gopal, the source of all avatars of Vishnu, everything desirable is easily obtained. Yet, Sri Raghunath is a special incarnation of the Lord. He has special characteristics that one cannot relish without developing the particular mood of his worship. Narada now offers to instruct Gopakumar in the method of worshiping Lord Ramachandra. 243. Practice chants like this. O husband of Sita Raghunath, elder brother of Lakshmana, O Lord, dear master of Sri Hanuman, and remember the qualities, beauty, and power of Lord Ramachandra as revealed in the Vedas and other scriptures. Commentary. Gopakumar might also worship the Lord of the Raghus by addressing him as the darling son of Kaushalya, or the son of Dasarath, or the younger brother of Bharata. Is that a mistake? Elder brother of Bharata, or the friend of Sugriva, or he might remember Sri Raghunath's transcendental qualities of shyness, humility, and so on, his beautiful appearance as he carries a bow in his hand, and his powerful displays of various opulences. The original Vedas give some hint of the glories and pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, which are elaborately described in the Puranas and in the Ramayana of Valmiki Rishi. 244. One should follow whatever path leads to attaining one's own worshipable deity. That is the most intelligent way to act. Persons exclusively devoted to their object of worship should be very much attracted to anything in which they find even a faint scent of their deity's presence. Commentary. Gopakumar might hesitate to approach Lord Ramachandra. After all, Sri Madan Gopal Dev has long ago stolen Gopakumar's heart, and Gopakumar has since then lost interest in everything and everyone else. How can he now be expected to develop love for someone else? Narada clears this potential doubt by assuring him that approaching Lord Ramachandra is the wisest thing he can do for his own self-interest. He should follow the logic of swa karyam udarit pragya karya dvanshena murkata. Murkata. An intelligent person should somehow do the needful. One who spoils the business at hand is a fool. I don't get the logic. Gopakumar should therefore approach the destination by stages, going first to Ayodhya and then to Dwaraka, where he will meet his worshipable Lord. Gopakumar will achieve Lord Gopal Dev by the special mercy of the Supreme Lord in his form of Raghunath, just as he achieved Lord, Lord Vishnu by the special mercy of Lord Shiva. But won't this violate Gopakumar's chaste vow to worship only one deity? No, because a devotee fixed in exclusive devotion to his Ishtadeva will be spontaneously attracted to whatever has even a slight fragrance of his own Lord's presence. Narada is confident that meeting Lord Ramachandra will lead Gopakumar to the perfection of happiness. 245. If you have seen the two lotus feet of Sri Ram, your hankering to see your Lord is unappeased. Then Rama, whose heart is soft from overflowing compassion, will happily send you to Dwarka. 245. While going there, perform the Lord's Sankirtan, as it has been described, and you will finally see your own dear Lord, whom you have so long desired to see, the charming Krishna Chandra, surrounded by the Yadus. Commentary. Narada now further assures Gopakumar that Krishna in Dwaraka is the same Madan Gopal he has so long been striving for. The question is not whether Dwaraka is the place to go, but only how to get there as soon as possible. That question Narada also answers here, : Gopakumar should perform Sankirtan of Sri Krishna Chandra loudly and melodiously, singing his names, reciting his glories, and offering him prayers. How to do all this is presented systematically in the Vedic literature, and Gopakumar should not wonder how to recognize his worshipable Lord upon seeing him, because the Lord, the devotee's eternal master, will not keep his glories hidden forever from his dependent. Or, alternatively, it may be that Narada is advising Gopakumar to follow the Raganuga method of devotional service by listening to the dictates of his own heart rather than mechanically following the injunctions of Scripture. In any case, the Supreme Lord is all powerful. So, one way or another, devotees who perform Sankirtan of the Lord's names will easily realize all their ambitions. 247. Ayodhya, Dwaraka, and other such abodes are all regions of Vaikuntha. Surely, therefore, you need not take permission from the Lord of Vaikuntha to leave and go there. Commentary. Koshala or Ayodhya, Dwaraka, and other exalted abodes like Lord Jagannath's Purushottam Kshetra all belong to the greater kingdom of Vaikuntha. Since Gopakumar is not planning to go outside Vaikuntha, he does not need special permission from Lord Narayana. 148. By his order, I have come here to see you. He knows the movements of everyone's heart, and you should know that from my mouth you have received his order. Commentary. Even though Gopakumar's journey would not take him outside Vaikuntha, he may have wanted to confirm with Lord Narayana that this travel was proper. Earlier, however, Lord Narayana had requested Narada, please meet Gopakumar in a private place and fulfill all his desires. So, Lord Narayana knows the inner workings of everyone's heart. He had known that Gopakumar had been dissatisfied even with living in Vaikuntha. And so he had sent Narada to encourage Gopakumar to move on. 249. In any case, the Lord has gone somewhere to bestow his favor on one of his great devotees. Since you'll be unable to tolerate having to wait for him, now is the best time for you to go. Commentary. Gopakumar might accept everything Narada has told him, but still wonder why he shouldn't meet the Lord in person before departing. Gopakumar's devotional mood might inspire him to ask such a question. Anticipating this possibility, Narada informs him that Lord Narayana has gone out of Vaikuntha for a while to visit some favorable devotee. But I just saw him here, Gopakumar might contend. Yes, but he has left just now. You came to this spot before he went away. But he should come back soon. I can wait till then. No, I don't think you have the patience to wait until he returns. In other words, it is likely that Lord Narayana, out of compassion for the great devotee he is visiting, will agree to stay with the devotee for some time. And Gopakumar is so eager to achieve his goal that he will be unable to tolerate even a moment's delay. Paragraph. Gopakumar need not lament over being unable to take permission from Lord Narayana in person, since the Lord is absent and has already given his permission, this is the best opportunity to leave, semicolon. If Gopakumar waits to consult him in person, seeing Lord Narayana will destroy the desire to go, and he will not achieve his goal. The Lord himself made the current arrangements with all these considerations in mind. 250. Sri Gopakumar said, overjoyed at hearing this, I bowed down repeatedly to Sri Narada, took his blessings, and set out, remembering his instructions. He set out on his. How's he going to set out? Anyway, after leaving commentary, after leaving for Ayodhya, Gopakumar followed Narada's instructions about remembering Lord Ramachandra's glories by chanting, "O husband of Sita, Raghunath, elder brother of Lakshmana, O Lord, dear master of Hanuman." After traveling a long way, I saw some forest monkeys restlessly jumping here and there and shouting, "Rama, Rama." As I proceeded, they gathered around me and tried to grab my flute from my hand. Then I saw some humans who are even more beautiful than the associates of the Lord of Vaikuntha. Commentary. Those monkeys were grabbing at Gopakumar's flute either because they could not bear someone's being a devotee of any other Lord than Sri Raghunath, or because they were extremely attracted to the flute. After Gopakumar walked a short distance with the monkeys, he saw some human associates of Lord Ramachandra. They appeared more beautiful than any other servants of the Lord he had ever seen, including the four-headed residents of Vaikuntha, who were blessed with the perfection of Sarupya, having bodily forms like that of Sri Narayana. 253. Doesn't say how he got from one planet to the next, but that's okay. Those men, in behavior like the best of civilized persons, could not tolerate my bowing down to them and showing other signs of respect. They brought me to the boundary of their city and through the main gate. Commentary. Both the humans and the monkeys escorted Gopakumar into Lord Ramchandra's city. When they reached the gateway, Gopakumar was so overwhelmed with ecstasy from seeing these associates of the Lord that he could not enter on his own strength, but only with their help. Lord Ramachandra must have sent these devotees out of the city to meet Gopakumar because, without their Lord's order, such devotees, exclusively dedicated to the rasa found at his lotus feet, would never have ventured so far away. Gopakumar could not behave with the men he saw the same way as with the residents of Vaikuntha, because these devotees of Lord Ramachandra did not allow him to show any respect. They were just like the best of Aryans in their behavior, very modest and considerate to everyone. Indeed, the civilized Aryans have learned many of their standards of conduct from the devotees of Lord Ram. 254. There before me I saw Bharata with Shatrughna, seated comfortably with monkeys like Sugriva, Angada, and Jambavan, and surrounded by many handsome men. Thinking Bharata to be Ramachandra, Lord of the Raghus, I recited prayers addressed to that Lord. But Bharata covered his ears and repeatedly forbade me to continue, saying, I'm only a servant. Commentary. Gopakumar greeted Bharata with prayers suitable for Lord Ramachandra. Quote, all glories to you, great King, Emperor of all the emperors, Sri Raghavendra, darling of Janaki. Bharata was shocked to hear such praise. He covered both ears with his hands and exclaimed, I am just his servant. Because Lord Bharata was sitting in a fabulous royal palace on a divine lion throne, attended by many principal servants of Lord Ramachandra and by other residents of Ayodhya, it was easy for Gopakumar to mistake Lord Bharata for Lord Ram. Moreover, Bharata's beauty and dress were just like Rama's. And because Bharata is a plenary portion of the personality of Godhead, his wife is the plenary portion of the goddess Lakshmi. So she appeared just like Mother Sita, and Shatrughna, who stood by Bharata's throne, looked not much different from Lakshmana. 255. After I stood motionless, with joined palms afraid. I stood motionless with joined palms before Lord Bharata. Hanuman then quickly made me leave that place and enter the inner precincts of the city, where I saw the most amazing sight, the Supreme Lord in his form as the best of human beings. He sat comfortably on a royal throne in the best of palaces, a palace full of all charming attractions, happy and marked with all the signs of great personage. He seemed somewhat like Lord Narayana. Commentary. Lord Ramachandra's face beamed with satisfaction, and his body showed all the marks of a peaceful person, a perfect person, that are set in the scripture, such as an expansive chest, a neck like a bull's, and mighty arms as broad as the trunks of a sal tree. His youthfulness, his ornaments, and the exquisite shape of his limbs made him look much like the Lord of Vaikuntha. 257. But certain especially attractive features distinguished him from that Lord. His hand was adorned with a bow. His glances were delightfully modest and humble. Playing the role of a perfect king, he followed all the prescribed rules of religious behavior. Commentary. Lord Ramachandra is even more beautifully attractive than Lord Narayana. He has two arms. He is the best of bowmen, and in his own unique way, he is the best protector of the citizens of his kingdom. He strictly adheres to the Vedic principles of civilized conduct. 258. I was bewildered by the overflowing ecstasy of his darshan, and I fell down before him as if offering prostrate obeisances. My confusion thus robbed me of the supreme benefit of seeing him. But then, by his mercy, I was able to stand up again and see him clearly. Commentary. The personality of Godhead is the supreme goal of all endeavors of human existence, since even in the most sublime endeavor of pure devotion, he is the goal. He awards such devotion to his surrendered devotees. 259. Sri Hanuman left me, pulled back by his own regular service, and in a single jump went to join his Lord. On the left of the Lord, pleasing him with her service, stood his dear counterpart Sita, and on his other side his younger brother Lakshmana. Commentary. Leaving Gopakumar at the very spot where he had fallen on the ground, Hanuman went to the side of Lord Ramachandra by jumping as monkeys generally do. Hanuman was drawn back to the Lord's side by the ecstatic attraction of eternal service. His desire above all was to do whatever would give his Lord the most pleasure. Although the sight of Lord Ramachandra is naturally blissful, when he is with his beloved Janaki, with Lakshmana, and with his best servant Hanuman, his beauty increases manifold, and whoever sees him becomes immersed in the most exceptional ecstasy. This picture of Lord Ramachandra together with Sita, Lakshman, and Hanuman depicts the Supreme Lord in his especially compassionate mood of reciprocating with his intimate servants. Sita Devi, in particular, is the perfectly compatible consort for Lord Ramachandra, and her beauty and other qualities excel even those of the goddess Lakshmi in Vaikuntha. Standing on the left side of the Lord, she displays such pastimes as offering him betel nut to chew. 260. Sri Hanuman sometimes stood in front of the Lord, fanning him with excellent white chamaras, plural, and singing his glories, and sometimes, palms joined, he praised the Lord with wonderful prayers of his own composition. 261. At one moment, he carried a white umbrella. At another, he massaged the Lord's lotus feet. And yet another, he did several kinds of service all at once. Amazingly, he was not in the least fatigued by all this. Commentary. Gopakumar saw Hanuman render service, several services at once. Dash. Singing Lord Ramchandra's glories, fanning the Lord, reciting famous prayers, massaging his feet, and more. And even such simultaneous expenditures of energy didn't seem to tire Hanuman at all. 262. Overwhelmed by the greatest joy, I bowed down again and again, saying, All glories, all glories. Then that soft-hearted Lord soothed me fully with the gentle nectar of his supremely impressive words. Commentary. Lord Ramachandra is extremely kind-hearted. His affectionate speech impressed Gopakumar more than anything he had ever heard before. Now it's a long section of, no, there's 2 verses he speaks. Okay, we'll end with that. The Supreme Lord said, Dear son of a cowherd, my best friend, well done, well done. By showing such affection, you have conquered me. Enough with all this exertion. Now just relax. You have made me, your dear friend, unhappy for a long time, for long enough. Commentary. With these words, Lord Ramachandra congratulates Gopakumar for his victorious entrance into Ayodhya. The Lord repeats himself, Sadhu, Sadhu, to tell the extent of his joy. He assumes that the long journey must have been strenuous, so he asks Gopakumar simply to rest a while. And perhaps Gopakumar can remain in Ayodhya for an extended time. In any case, at least he should take a break from offering so many needless dandavats and prayers. These displays of reverence cause pain to the Lord, who considers Gopakumar a close friend. 264. Please get up. Get up. All good fortune to you. Give up this formal respect. Dear friend, I'm always controlled by such pure love as yours. Commentary. When the Lord saw Gopakumar still standing respectfully, the Lord tried to put him at ease by offering blessings. And when Gopakumar still offered obeisances, the Lord told him outright to stop being so formal. Quote, I'm actually under your control, so how can I be the object of your reverence? Now, how do we end? But I'm going to end. And Gopakumar and Lord Ramachandra continue to exchange in various ways. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.